In this video, we're chopping up these two Monstera to try water propagation. I'm giving away this plant later on in the video, so stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, my name is Rose, my pronouns are she, her. This is Mickey, he's very cuddly right now. You may see it in the screen already. We're gonna do something today with my Monsteras. I have propagated a lot of Monsteras, you can find my other videos for that. Mickey really loves the aerial roots. I'm trying to learn how to propagate with just an aerial root, and I know a lot of people say it's very easy. I've just never been able to do it, so that's what we're doing in this video. Mickey, what do you think? You excited? And we have two plants to cut up today. These two have been growing really well, but this is actually too tall now for the shelf that it's on, so that's why we're doing it now. This is what it looks like. This is what I normally do. I'm rooting it back down into the soil. So then they are actually already rooted, and that's how I have had the most success. But the top few cuttings don't have that. And then we also have this cutie with a few leaves, some nice variegation that has several nodes that we can test out without any actual roots down into the soil. Some have gone into the soil because that's just what I do. I guide them down and then hope for the best. Let's cut. Let's start with this smaller one. Try and get it as close as possible. Now, always with the top cutting, you see there is no aerial root here yet. And I always recommend for the top cutting to cut at least one node down. If you just cut here, that would not be a success. So the first cut is going to be here. We're doing it. Next is here. This has a nice, oh, you can't see anything. Next is here. It has a nice aerial root. Woohoo! This one is a little bit harder to show you, but we're gonna cut it here. And this one is rooted into the soil already, so it's staying put. This one's also rooted in the soil. This is the last one for this. Very cute small baby one. I've let them rest here so they can dry out a little bit. We'll continue with the big one. This one is beautiful at the top, and I'm a little bit worried because the top two nodes don't have an aerial root yet. So it might be better to wait a little bit till that aerial root comes out until this leaf hardens a bit more, but we're not gonna wait because I'm impatient. The next best thing is down here. So we have aerial roots and we have a few more nodes. Snip, snip, snip-a-dip-a-dip, snip-a-dip-a-dip, snip, snip. The rest of these nodes are all rooted into the soil, so it's a little bit easier. Snip, snip, snip-a-dip-a-dip, snip-a-dip-a-dip, snip, snip. Make sure that your bottom part is not a spent node and that's it. So if I would cut here, then there would be nothing left to grow from and it would continue living, but not having any way to grow. So that would be quite sad. We're just gonna let all of these, look at them, little staircase of cuttings, dry out. I actually have to run and teach 2 yoga classes in the park now, but I wanted to do this before so that when I come back, it's dried out and we can continue this process.
3 hours later.
Okay, I am back. The cuts have dried nicely. That looks really nice actually. It's just 2 top cuttings and 2 bottom cuttings in a jar. These ones I think I'm gonna unpot and repot so that they're sitting comfortably on the soil and not this far away. Especially in this pot as well, they're all hanging over. This one is very well rooted, so this can go straight into soil. This one, not so much, but I think it's enough. This small baby one, so cute, only has this. These cuttings are a little bit more tricky because they have such long aerial roots. So, for example, this one has a super long root and then here it's well rooted, So this is gonna be rolled up a little bit into the pot, I think. Might be a little bit tricky. This very small one is adorable. The roots look good. Actually, I think this one I might put in water. Okay, let me show you the leaf first. Be consistent. And then this one, did I show you this one yet? I don't know. I got lost a little bit, but this one looks cute too. Also super long. Side roots here. Okay, I have a very big pot. And I'm gonna reuse some of this soil. So these are the cuttings. This is the one mother plant, second mother plant, and some more cuttings in water that didn't fit into the other jar. Woo! Good luck, buddies! Hello, friends. It's been less than 2 weeks, but I already have an update for you, which of course is great news. Yay for summer and a heat wave. First, let me show you an overview of what we have. Some in water, some in soil. The ones in water are already showing beautiful new roots. Look at that. And all the little white things that you see on the sides of the roots are the starts of side shoot roots as well. So even though this water looks disgusting, it's going really well. The main jug full of cuttings is also showing signs of new root growth, as you can see here and here as well. See all the new roots? The cuttings also still look happy. My arm is not so happy now, so putting it back. Then the two mother plants, the bases, they of course were already well rooted, so that has started to grow. There you see a growth point here. The second one has a couple of leaves left, so a little bit more stem. And that even has 2 growth points. So there, one at the edge, and then one coming all the way, or even 2. Wow! I just spotted that third one there, coming from the bottom of the stem. So that is going to be a nice full plant as well. And then the 4 cuttings that I put in soil, because they already had some root growth there, are also looking good. Some of them have a bit of burn because it has been very, very sunny. This one has the most burn. But they are also all showing signs of growth. I don't think I've ever had growth show up this fast on cuttings as well as mother plants. So I guess the 30 degrees for a week and nice sunny weather has been good for the plants. It's been not so good for me. I have been walking around in bikinis and trying to stay cool in the shade. But great update so far. Quick update. The ones that were already kind of rooting in the soil have grown new roots, but it does look a little bit murky, this water. So we're gonna refresh it. Oh, and a few of them have nice new growth. This last one does not though. And there we have it. The one that is not growing, the root has rotted. So we're gonna cut part of that off, probably until here, and hope that it will root from the fresh part. I think I'm gonna cut it here because it already looks broken and gross. Floppy. That looks much better. Now let's check the other jar. These are the cuttings that had not grown any soil roots yet, and the top cuttings as well. Let's check them out. This top cutting with 1 leaf is starting to grow another leaf already. These all look like they're growing well, so it's going really well. I'm super surprised, and I can't believe I thought for many years that I was not able to do water propagation because of one failed top cutting, and now I have like 8 cuttings rooting successfully. Oh, I still have to show you the ones in soil. All have nice growth points. Sometimes it struggles to focus on them because they're so light. And then we have one of the mama plants is about to open its first leaf. Mama plants always grow much quicker because they already have an established root system. And then the biggest surprise of all, this was the other mama plant that has 1 growth point here with a leaf almost opening, 1 growth point here coming out with a new leaf. Kind of hard to see, but here it is. And already a leaf open. Can you believe it? This one is going to be a nice full pot. Good job, little baby. Time for another update. It is the 18th of September and it's a very gloomy day, so it's a little bit dark in the shot. Sorry about that. Let's look at the monsteras. I've put them all together on a table here for you so we can compare and see the soil propagation in the back versus the water propagation. And here in the front, we have the one node cuttings that are in water. As you can see, the roots are developing nicely. I should actually add some more water, it's a little bit low. And then from the top view, you can see that they all have a little bit of growth happening. It's all a bit of a jumbled mess. Maybe I'll pot them up already because the roots actually look pretty good now. The other water jar actually already has a new leaf. Look at this little baby that came out in the jar. And they're also rooting nicely. You can see the secondary roots. So if you are doing water propagation, first you'll get one big root like this one. Once it gets secondary roots like that side shoot, then you can pot them into soil. That's what I've learned at least. So you can see here there's a lot of side shoots and roots in general, so I can pot these up as well. Switching to the soil plants, these two are actually the mother plants, so we can't compare the growth of those. One leaf that came out and the second leaf is about to unfurl. There's some nice variegation in there, but it's hard to see because it's pretty dark today. There are some white bits and spots there. So just one growth point on this. And then the other mother plant is kind of my favorite because it grew 3 shoots. So there's one here, and one here. And all of them have new leaves. This one is the smallest one still. It has only this tiny adorable leaf. This one is the biggest one. It has this small leaf, and then the second leaf is this one. Look how much bigger that already is. The size increase is real. And then the back growth point is this fun sectoral variegated leaf here, just the one. I've actually had this happen quite a lot with mother plants because there's a few more nodes and somehow it has already the strength to grow several of them. I don't know if all of them will continue growing, but it's always fun to have the 3 growth points in one plant. Then the actual cuttings, you can see here, they are a little bit further along than the water propagated cuttings back there. So all of them have nice points. Here you can see this is the little profil. Profil is the word for new growth that comes out that is like a little misshapen leaf or a little point that in my experience kind of clears the way for the first actual leaf to come out. Here, this one seems to have a nice amount of white. This one is already working on the leaf. So you can see on the right, that's the point of the profil. And on the left is the point of the new leaf that's gonna come out. And then the cutest one is this one. This profil is a little weirdo leaf, very adorable. So you can see that with them having had roots already, they are much better set up to continue growing. And also with the soil, it seems like they are quicker to grow than the ones in water. So that's why I normally like to air layer or do something beforehand so that the plants already have some roots. I guess we're gonna pot these watery ones up now. I moved us over to the greenhouse to repot, but it started raining, so the audio might not be ideal. Hopefully you can hear me properly. No roots on this one yet, so I'm gonna keep that in water. I'm gonna be selling these, so I'm gonna put them in small separate pots and not all together like I did with the other ones. Okay, so that's the one node cuttings. Hey, the rain has stopped. Now let's do the top cuttings. Oh, this one's all right. A lot of roots, but not super long and awkward. This one, also not too bad. Nicely rooted. The soil mix, by the way, is currently just my favorite soil mix from Pokon, organic plus perlite, because I don't have bark in the home. This is the cutting that had a rotted root and still has not grown roots. So I'm gonna keep it in water and hopefully some roots will grow from this bit. Or maybe it has enough energy to grow this new bit and then it has a better chance of growing roots from the fresh bit, maybe. We'll see. Hopefully this will survive. So that's the update for now. I hope next update they will all have new leaves open. And once they have their first leaf open, I am gonna sell them so that I have a fun video and you guys have an affordable Monstera variegata for my home. I wanted to do a quick update inside as well so you can see all the pots now that they have and see how they look. For the next update, stay tuned. It is the 14th of October, which means it's 2.5 months since I cut up my 2 plants, and look at how many I have now. I've noticed some very fun updates, so let's check it out. Starting with this one that was rotting before, so it was the only one I still had in water. Look, it made a little root. So it's gonna live. That's amazing. I love seeing this. The other 4 one-node cuttings that I have potted up in soil are still basically the same, I feel like. This one is starting to grow a little bit more, but we don't have actual leaves yet. We do have some roots coming out the bottom though, so that's a good sign. Then over here we have the 2 top cuttings, these 2. And this one, you already saw this new leaf that opened up while it was still in the vase. I don't see any new growth on it yet because that leaf is still hardening. There's also roots growing out the bottom. Not really a super exciting update for this one, but it's still looking very nice. Then this is one of the mother plants. It's starting to get a bit more variegation, which is good. And it has another leaf about to open here with some perlite on it. So this is growing quite fast. This whole bit is new. The other mother plant actually looks very impressive. I'm gonna pull it a little bit to the window because it's a little bit of a gloomy day today. Here is the newest leaf. Nice variegation and fenestrations, 3 of them. But it also has this growth point, which has these leaves. Very cute. And then down here, I think the plant has abandoned this one a little bit. I don't see active growth on it. That's a lot slower than the other 2. And then the last one is the cuttings that we potted up right away into soil. And look at all the nice variegation. Woo-hoo-hoo. So let's start on this side. This is the first leaf that it opened, but immediately it's quite a big leaf with a fenestration, quite nice size, and a little bit of sectoral variegation in here. The original leaf of that is this one. Then this original leaf is this new leaf, and it's also very cute. No fenestrations, but very nice variegation. Looks very good, I think. This was the original leaf. It has grown this leaf, which is very, very white, as you can see. We'll see how this goes. It's still a little bit soft, but in this case, I think I will keep growing it out to see what the next leaf looks like, so that when I do sell them, I know that it is a happy and healthy plant. It has enough green to survive, because we all hopefully know by now white is beautiful, but it doesn't bring anything to the plant, doesn't give the plant any photosynthesis, which it needs to grow, continue to grow. So it only takes energy away from the plant. You need a good, healthy balance of white and green. And then the last one in here is this is the original leaf. And here is the little leaf. Look at how adorable it is. Lots of white, but also some minty parts, which is nice. I'm not saying it's a mint monstera at all. That's just what it looks like when there's different layers of leaf material. Some are green, some are variegated. See? I did rip this, sorry little plant, yesterday when I was checking it out. I didn't realize it was hiding behind there, so whoops. But it's still adorable, beautiful. Again, same thing. I'm gonna keep an eye on it to see if the next leaf brings a little bit more green before I sell these. But overall, this is going very well. I'm very happy. I like to reroute the aerial roots down into the soil so that they are already rooted. And that gives the plant such a better start of its life. As you can see here, it's going, the water propagation ones, but it's taking so much longer than if we had already had some established roots. Now, since I just hit 40,000 followers on Instagram this morning, I decided to do a secret giveaway in my stories. But since by the time you watch this, the Instagram giveaway will already be finished, I decided to use this plant for a YouTube giveaway in this video. I'm gonna be giving away this beautiful Monstera variegata top cutting to someone in the EU. I'm not able to ship outside of the EU because it needs documentation and I cannot make that. But this cute little baby top cutting that has now made a new leaf, that's why I waited till one day before posting this video to show you, look at this new leaf. You can win. In order to enter, go into the comment section, write your first name and the country that you're from, and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. and then I'll pick a winner from there. Unfortunately, giveaways like this always attract a lot of scammers, so please never share your personal details or your credit card info. I will respond to the winner's comment asking them to email me their address to plantwithrose@gmail.com. So please be mindful of scammers always when you enter a giveaway. But I'm super excited to try this. I haven't done many YouTube giveaways because they're a little bit more tricky than Instagram. My Instagram has already been at 45,500 this morning. It's been a week and a half since I last filmed that little update, so it's going really fast. I don't know what's happening, but thank you everyone for joining. I am doing a few more giveaways on there that are for the US, for Canada, and worldwide. And some of those are plant prizes as well. So if you're interested in that, check out my Instagram, Plant with Rose, and keep an eye on the stories because that's where I'm doing the giveaways. Once the giveaway is closed, I will change the description and the name of this video so you know that you can no longer enter. Before I go, a quick update on some of the plants that show some difference in 1.5 weeks. Like this cutting has a leaf about to come out, really cute. This mother plant has made a new leaf. And then lastly, but most excitingly, the water propagation is finally actually growing a root. So that is gonna live as well. So patience is key, but rotting is also normal. Base plants have much more success. Top cuttings are awesome and they continue to keep the size and the nice fenestrations. Having it air layered or already rooted into the soil works a lot quicker. I hope that makes sense. If you have any more questions about this, also leave them in the comments. With the giveaway, you can imagine that it might get a little bit crowded. I will try and get to every one of you. I always try and respond to all the comments, as you hopefully know by now. If you enjoyed this video with all the updates, please let me know in the comments as well and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe join my Patreon or YouTube membership. Next week's video is actually super exciting because I went to a plant market in Germany, in Hamm, Botanica, and I made a video of that. So that's gonna come up next week. And the week after that, we will have another Costa Rica video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye friends. Bye. Next week, next video, stop. Please give it a thumbs up. My WhatsApp is on. Make sure that you, Jesus Christ! You are in the EU, which means the European Union, which means only countries in Europe that are part of the European Union. And to end, some Mickey cuddles, because we love you. Thank you for being here and on Instagram.